Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with my fourth layout for my Killikit series with Simple Stories I Am. And I have some more fabulous pictures to scrapbook. I have created 3 layouts already. This is my first one, and as of right now, I believe, other than some minor details like these 3 Park Lane enamel dots and any kind of mixed media that I use, everything has come directly from this Simple Stories kit that I got. And so all the background paper, all the strips, all the stickers and embellishments have all come from the sticker sheet, the chipboard, the journaling bits, or the papers. So this is documenting my second vaccination. Then this one is documenting going to my mom's and surprising her to give her a big hug when my vaccination had been 2 weeks past and I was fully ready to hug my mom. And on here I've got Stickles, and other than that, that is the only thing that is not from the collection. And I love the butterflies. And then this is the third one that I created, and on here I also have Stickles. And if you watch the video from where I created this layout, I made mistakes. Well, actually, this might be the only one I didn't. This one I made a mistake, henceforth these flowers up here, which look lovely, but they weren't intended to go up there. But I had to fix my mixed media boo-boo. And these Stickles I smeared and had to fix that. And so if nothing else from watching my videos, you might find ways to fix your mistakes if you ever make them, because, well, I'm a professional. So this is my third of the, I think, 6, possibly 7 layouts, but definitely 6. This is just documenting my pup and me and my daughter. I just felt like the pictures that I pulled are all ones that I feel would do this collection justice. The I Am collection has a lot of really positive affirmations and just really encouraging. And I think anything to do with getting through a pandemic, you know, your children, including yourself, because, you know, it's one of those things where you've got to I have been reminded a lot this year that I am not in enough of my layouts and in my books, because I'm usually the one behind the camera. And so I don't care if that means I have to do a bunch of selfies, which is obviously what's happening, including today's layout and pictures. But I've been a part of scrapbookingwitannemarie.com, and she has really just encouraged us to remember to put ourselves in the book. So I felt like that was another thing that this collection would be good at, was scrapbooking and myself. So just, you know, reaffirming myself. Everybody needs a little bit of that. So this, other than the Stickles, is 100% from this collection. I am loving these cut aparts. They have really great phrases. This cheetah print cracks me up, but I brought it in. It's the same color patterns. Obviously not the same design as my dog's fur, but the colors are very similar to her fur. So that's why I went ahead and brought cheetah print in when I work with pictures of her, which she will also be in today's layout. So I've been marking out when I'm completely used up a piece of paper, if I remember, and I don't always remember, because as you can see, I used all of this, so that is all gone. And I think I've used all of this, the back of it, not this. But, you know, I can't remember. It may be somewhere, parts of it may be in here. So I've just marked things off so that I can get a quick glance at what I've got going on here. So, yeah, the cheetah print is the other side of the purple. So, and I already used that on my last layout. And the swans are the back of the first layout. Goodness gracious, Kristen. All right, so that is that. And this came with a 12 by 12 sticker sheet, which I love. And this chipboard, which is falling apart. It won't stay in the thing, so I've got it on this piece of cardboard so that it will at least kind of stay. It's easier to share what I have used this way. So I need to use these up, and I think today's, this will be some of the things that I use on today's for sure. I've used some florals, the hearts, the butterflies, the bird, and the I am phrasing here. I may be using this camera today as well. And then this is the journaling bits, and there are more of these, but I've gone through and already pulled some things specifically out that I wanted to use on the pictures that I've pulled. So those are already with the pictures so that I don't forget, because I'm really good at doing that. So there's lots of really neat things in here, and I don't know if you can still get this kit or not. I got it at Tuesday morning, but I just love the way these are. And I've kept my branding strips, and will probably use some of these today in my layout. This is what is remaining on my sticker sheet, and yes, it is so much. I still have quite a bit. I will be using quite a few of these today as well. These word phrases especially, maybe some of these. And I might just be able to find a way to get that cheetah print shoe in there. We'll see. And then I had already purchased the sticker sheet by itself, and this is what I have left. The books, these 2 stars, and these pair of cheetah shoes. I'm not kidding. I need to try and find a way to get those in there. It may be today. So, with that being said, these are the 2 pictures that I am working with today. I have this picture of me. I participated in a scrapbooking virtual retreat with scrapbookingwithanemarie.com, and one of the things we had to do was send a selfie, and this is my Cricut in the background, and it's, I put vinyl on it that says Crafting Queen. And then I got this crown from my work. They were trying to encourage us when we were in the midst of the pandemic, and so I was just wearing it trying to be funny. And then my son put this on our dog. So I have this picture, and then they wrote on here, she's a real queen. Or maybe it was my daughter. I think it was my daughter. My son is standing behind me shaking and said yes. So I just thought it would be kind of like a Who Wears It Best kind of page layout. Not that it'll say that, although who knows. So these are my 2 pictures, and this is the paper that I have picked to work with. I did pull this out. It says a work in progress, but it has like office type supplies, and I felt like that really fits me because I am also the office queen, because I work in an office, and I use scissors and pencils and sometimes staplers as I scrapbook. So these are the ephemera pieces that I pulled out, that I am debating on using just because they are matching the colors, the phrasing works. And so these are the things that I will look into pulling in. And then I have some loose papers that are mostly the scraps that are left over from what I have been working with. And that is what I plan on using. And for the first time since I started doing these Kits, I'm going to use a sketch or a actual tutorial to get this layout together. So I am a member of scrapbookingwithanemarie.com, and there's a free part to that, and this is one of the tutorials in the free membership. Super simple. It's called Explosive Strips, and it is, like I said, part of the free membership for scrapbookingwithanemarie.com. She does have a paid membership that has tutorials with PDFs and actual videos on how to do them. But I think I'm going to turn this like this because I'm real good at doing that, and put my pictures in this empty space, and maybe add some extra layers and stuff. And instead of using the papers right there, I may use some of those word phrases that I pointed out in the sticker sheet and on the chipboard page. So this is where we're headed. This is what we're working with. these are our pictures. So I'm gonna get started and see how this goes. All right, so this is what I've started with, and here's this tutorial one more time. I'll probably show it again, I think, later. So I cut this 1-inch strip from this, it's kind of like a animal print in multicolors, and I cut a 1-inch strip from that, and I measured where it would need to go so that my pictures would stay predominantly on the left side of that strip. I don't mind some overlaying, but I didn't want it to be coming over too much, so I have to maneuver it a little so that my pictures, which are both staying pretty much 4x6, will fit. So all these strips that I'm using right here are either from a branding strip or from a cut apart that has extra matting on the outside. And there was a space that I could trim off and still use the other side if I end up using the cut apart on the other side. The longer strips at the bottom, you can tell, do not reach all the way to this big inch wide strip over on the right, which is how the sketch or the tutorial is, but I'm going to fix that to where you can't tell. So all three of those are branding strips, and I just used the ones that I have already cut off of other pages I've used or from the paper that I used today. So I decided that I wanted to bring in that mustard yellow. I love the words on this text. I guess it would be a text print, even though it's not text print. And the green with the flowers is actually the back of this, the paper I'm working, my background paper. So, and there are some embellishments that I want to bring in that have that same floral. So I thought that would be perfect. So I matted my pictures, one on that mustard yellow with the florals and one on that text print, which is the front and back, A and B side of one page. So I was just using 2 4x6 background papers for those. So they would match, bring those colors in, and go very nicely with this lovely collection. So I am tacking down everything. I just put some double-sided tape on the backs of my strips. And you see that cut apart that I was sharing with you earlier that says a work in progress. And that is how I'm going to cover the fact that it does not fully extend to the 1-inch strip on the right. So I'm getting them laid down. I want them to be reasonably even, but I am an eyeballer. I don't measure. So looking at it now, I can tell that it is not like evenly spaced, and I'm okay with that. It was not my intention to make them perfectly symmetrical. That's not my style. So up at the top, I'm doing the same thing, and I wanted to have them come down, start and end in a similar fashion to the ones on the bottom left. I did tack it down a little too close to the top, not the same distance from the one on the bottom, but I'm okay with that. I was going to pull it up and fix it, but it tears. That double-sided tape is very strong, which can be good and can be bad. So I went ahead and left it. It looks fine. I love it. And in the end, the layout is fantastic in my opinion. So I am getting this 1-inch strip double-sided tape down, and I, because I know that what I'm going to be putting down is already there, so I don't need to worry about tucking anything under there. So I get my pictures and I move them around a few times. Like originally they started side by side, just turned a little over to each side a little. Then I decided to drop the one of my dog down a little bit more, so that they weren't competing necessarily, and it's going to give me a little space on the top of her picture to do some embellishing and to put the date up there from that picture. And so I decided to bring it down some. So I took my black soot distress inks, and I used my dauber and inked around this cut apart so that it would stand out. It's like a lavender purple, and I wanted it to stand out a little bit more against that pink ledger paper, which I love. I wish there were more sheets of that in here. That's the only downside, is you only get one of everything. But that's okay. It makes every page different and unique. So I am going to lay that down so that it covers the end of the strips, so you can't tell that they don't come all the way over. And it's going to give the picture of my dog, her name is Tinkerbell, a little bit of a table to sit on, pretty much. Now I'm going to fix the fact that there's nothing underneath my picture. There will be some things under there. I needed that space because I wanted to make sure to journal. There was some things to journal about on this page, so I did leave that space for that purpose. So I trim off what's hanging over. I wanted to make sure that it hung over so that I knew it came straight to the end of the page, and there was no gap between the end of the strip to the page. So I have this little piece from the journaling bits that says, I am limitless, strong, blessed, brave, fabulous, amazing, growing, fun. And I thought that was very fitting. Not that I'm saying that I'm all those things, but I can be. And so can my dog. So I really love the way that it fit in this space, and kind of broke up that strip of the like animal print, as well as there's a small itty bitty little triangle of space next to the picture, between the picture and the 1-inch strip. And so I kind of wanted to cover that. When it's such a small little space like that, I feel like it looks unintentional, like an accident. If it's a bigger gap, then I think you could say that that was intended. I wanted that there. But when it's such a small little space in between, I know some people call it trapped space, because there's really nothing to put there to cover that. So I just cover the whole thing and just a smidge of the picture. So I got all that in there. And sorry, my husband is coming home and my son is announcing it to the entire house. And he may very well come in here and interrupt. So I got that laid down. I did put it up on some fun foam. I love fun foam. Thank you, State Goddess, for pointing out fun foam. From Walmart. It is cheap and it adds so much dimension. It's so easy to work with. Love it. So I take this tag, and it's in that teal that is the same color of the floral paper. And so I'm bringing that color up to the top because there really isn't any of that, although my Cricut is that same. We're very similar. It's like an emerald green. So I write the date above there on that one, and then I put another little tag or label over above Tinkerbell's picture and write the date there. One was taken on the 1st, which was National Scrapbooking Day. The other one was taken the next day. I was at work, and my daughter sent me this picture and said that our dog was the real queen. So I will agree with that. So I got all that stuff down, and now I am trying to embellish and determine exactly what I want to put where. And I know I want to do a lot of word decorations. There are tons and tons of word phrases on the sticker sheet that I love, that are fitting for these pictures, and I wanted to use them, and not just to use up the sheet. I mean, yes, the whole point is to kill a kit, but I don't want to just stick things places and not really have a purpose. Filling a space is a purpose, and I'm okay with that. So there are a couple of things that I'll stick on here that are just filling like a gap. And but I do pull quite a few word phrases or words off to decorate my page. So I pull, I think, 5 or 6 off of the bottom of the sticker sheet to start with. And I decide I'm going to put them up here on top of the strips at the top right corner. The first one says Chasing Dreams. And then the next one says Beautiful. And then the bottom one says Stay Happy. And those are the colors that I wanted to bring throughout the page. I mean, the pink is in the background, that tealy emerald color is all around. And then, of course, that yellow. There's not a ton of the yellow, so I wanted to bring that in with the strip, the background paper, and then, of course, with this word phrase. At the bottom, I use 2 word phrases from or words from the journaling bits. The top one says enough and the bottom says fabulous. And then I just scatter some words in the midst of that. Some of them are stickers, and then one of them I pull from the chipboard that just say living with purpose, loved, happy, amazing, and live your best life. And I felt like all of those were super fitting for this layout. So between my dog and me, she's definitely living her best life, by the way. She's very spoiled. And so I used all of those. And then I do want to pull some other word phrases or things out to put down on the top of my picture and the top of her picture, just to not necessarily fill a gap, but just to fill in, I guess, to bring more of what I want said specifically about those 2 pictures to the picture. So I will end up pulling a sticker up at the top of mine that says loving life, and one above Tinkerbell's that says love yourself. Sorry, I got distracted. My husband just came in and showed me he bought me sushi. Love that guy. So one of the other things I did was that floral frame. I decided, since the background paper is a journal or ledger paper, I would just use that as my journaling. So I just laid it down to where I could journal straight on the background paper and use that frame kind of to separate it out. So I love that. It also brings that floral from the bottom strip and the stapler on the cut apart all together. So I decided I want to use this word phrase or this sticker that says fabulous, because I want something to gap or to cover that little, not necessarily awkward, because I don't always cover the space, but where mine and Tinkerbell's pictures collide. So I decided I'm going to use this word fabulous. I mat it on the same hot pink that I used on that phrase sticker, or the phrase that's over there next to Tinkerbell, the big long one that says I am limitless. So I put it on that same paper and then just fussy cut around it so it fits perfectly, and I pop it up on foam. I love the foam. And I don't know if you noticed, but I've put down the cheetah print shoes. I put them up at the top. I have said before, the color scheme in the cheetah print is the same color scheme of my dog. So I felt like this was a page that I could tuck those in. I also put a little purse in there underneath my picture. Not because, it's just because it was like I said, to fill a space. So I'm not just sticking them on there to stick them on there. I was just grateful that they were going to fit right there up at the top of Tinkerbell's picture. So I get fabulous laid down, and I go through the sticker sheet to see if there is anything else I want to add. I have put an animal print heart down at the bottom right corner of the cut apart, just to bring that same blue color in, as well as that cheetah print that is up above Tinkerbell's picture. And actually, I don't think I've put the sticker up there that's that same color just yet. But here it's coming, because I looked through the sticker sheet to see what I could find. So I find a sticker. Bless you, my husband just sneezed. This sticker I just tucked in now is a paper clip with a bow on top. And I just took my scissors and trimmed the little ends of the ribbon so that they could come over my picture a little bit, so that the paper clip doesn't have to stick out too much. And then I get this pink ribbon and put it above Tinkerbell, covering up the extra space on that label. So then I look for some word phrases that are going to work. And that's when I take the little pink word phrase that says loving life and tuck it over by the ribbon. And then I look for one that's going to fit in this space next to the cheetah print shoes. I want it to overlap them a little, but to come all the way over to the purse strap so that it is not going to leave another odd gap there. So I found a couple that fit, as in like the wording fit, but they didn't fit. They were either too long or too small or too short. So I found the one that is that aqua color, and it says love yourself, and I put that down. And then I'm looking at the chipboard trying to see if there's anything else that I want to use, and I decide that I will title this page You Are Fabulous. And so I find the You Are on my chipboard, and I put it down next to the Fabulous sticker that I had popped up on foam. And it covers a little bit of that frame, and I'm okay with that. And I love the way that it looks. Because the Fabulous is popped up on foam, it doesn't look odd there. If it was flat on this there and then the chipboard You Are, that might have looked odd to me. So I get out my gold Stickles, and I put 3 little Stickles up at the top corner, top right corner, next to the Fabulous, in the bottom right corner by the cheetah print heart. And I'm going to look at it, and then I'm going to show you some close-ups because I'm done. It didn't take me very long at all to complete this layout. And here is the tutorial again. You all should check her out. It is fantastic. So there they are. I hope you all have a great day, and I hope you get a chance to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping.